Loneliness can be defined as a negative emotional state that occurs when there is a discrepancy between the desired and achieved patterns of social interaction. Essentially, loneliness is an emotional state that sometimes comes up for a person when the social connection that one has does not reach the expectation of what one wants. Loneliness, unfortunately, does not discriminate, and sometimes it can be hard to determine from the outside if a person is experiencing this emotion. Typically, the socially accepted description of a person experiencing loneliness is a person who is cut off from society and has no or limited interaction with other people. However, it is important to point out that a person could constantly be surrounded by many people and still exhibit the same feelings of loneliness.
When I feel lonely, I think I watch movies and it kind of feels like I'm less lonely because there are people in the movies that I'm watching. Not that I'm like having conversations with people from the film, but it's like less lonely that way because you actually get to see someone doing something.
Some things I do to not feel lonely, I think, is making an effort to talk to the people that are already around you. I'm definitely an introverted person, so having time alone and to myself is important, but making an effort to talk to the people at work about their weekend and how they're doing, that's one way. I think also sometimes, for me, I feel lonely in my identity, being queer and gender questioning and not personally knowing many people like me can be a bit isolating, but lately I've been working on that by just talking to people about who I am and reaching out to people I do know and connecting with them and trying to find that common ground.
There is no one cause for loneliness, and sometimes this can complicate the emotions one is feeling. Factors that can contribute to the onset of these feelings can be situational. This can include physical isolation from others, geographically moving locations, relationship breakdowns, and the death of a close one. However, it is important to note that loneliness can also occur because of internal factors, such as experiencing a mental health condition.
Am I happy? Sometimes. Sometimes I'm not sure if I'm feeling happiness or if it's just like the absence of sadness, but I guess you have to take what you can get. But I think I'm happy when I'm with people that make me feel at home.
Whoever is happy though, honestly, definitely not. Straight up, no. Life is just no. It's like living in a weird blur. There is no happiness, just contentness and sadness and crying in the shower at 3 a.m.
Globally, the impact of COVID-19 has been fast and devastating. The implementation of lockdowns, closed hard borders, social distancing, and mask wearing has reduced human connection and forced many people to be isolated in their homes. In early to mid-2021, the Australian Bureau of Statistics released data that stated 1 in 10 people self-reported experiencing loneliness between April and May. Areas that were prominent were poor levels of social connection, living alone, and poor levels of support from friends and family.
I know it's hard, but just reach out to somebody, literally anybody. I know it's kind of contradiction with loneliness. Half the reason you're feeling lonely is because you feel like there's nobody to reach out to you, but I promise there is somebody. I think as human beings, we kind of have this sixth sense for when a person has good vibes. I think if you just find the last person who gave you positive vibes and connect with them and say hey and talk about literally anything, 9 times out of 10 they'll want to talk to you too and they'll want to be there for you.
It is important to note that everyone will experience feelings of loneliness, and this is certainly normal in particular circumstances. This reiterates that we are human and are capable of experiencing a wide range of emotions. However, when these feelings and emotions disrupt the norm of day-to-day living and one's ability to cope starts to decline, it is important to seek professional help.